a big thing that we can do to resist Trump is by sinking his approval rating. And the way that you're going to do that is by talking about it, talking about what he has done that is wrong. What has he done that has personally affected you? It doesn't matter. You do not need a big platform. You can be talking about it. You can be going to town halls. You can be making a video. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. You can be writing about it. You can be going to protests. You can just be talking to like people in your day-to-day life about it.
Salutations, sweet things. My name is Ansley and I work at Boardwalk. And this is Tess.
Hello.
He also works at Boardwalk. Tess has some very helpful tips for
how an average person can resist fascism. That's what people are trying to make happen right now. That's what the Trump administration wants. It's what Elon Musk wants. It's really concerning, and I know that a lot of people feel scared about that, and so we'll go over a bunch of different things. The first article that I got a bunch of information from, it is by Timothy Snyder. He is a historian. He worked at Yale. He studies Eastern Europe, the Soviet Union, and the Holocaust.
So he knows what he's talking about.
The first point that he makes is that voting does matter. Obviously, we have passed this moment, and we aren't going to have a presidential election for another 4 years, most likely, and hopefully. But local elections happen, and having local people in power does matter. And I think a lot of the time, and I think something that happened this election, something that I think happens frequently, is people think that their vote doesn't matter, and it does.
It so matters.
And it matters so much locally, especially like the things that you care about and what is happening in your local government is going to affect you, honestly, probably in many ways more than whatever this administration. Like, this administration has a lot of power. The president does have a lot of power.
More than he should.
But what is happening locally is going to affect how where you live reacts to this administration.
Yeah.
So voting does matter. Don't think that you can't vote. And also contact your lawmakers. Make sure that you're being active in that sense. There are websites that you can go to that will easily send emails. Just like hound them.
If you like to complain, now is your time to shine, baby.
If you write angry Yelp reviews,
This is your moment.
It.
Like, there is no reason to be out Karen'd by a Republican Karen. You have so much to go off of. Let's go.
The next one is that coalitions are necessary. This is specifically, he's talking about infighting. So a big thing that I think we talk about and that people probably see is that the left, like liberals, frequently, I feel like within the Democratic Party, within liberals, there can be these purity tests. And like, I would say that I'm a pretty left-leaning person, and frequently, like a central liberal or a more center liberal, I'll be like, I don't think that what you're doing is enough. There's definitely people who are way further left than me. And those people probably look at me and are like, oh, you're not doing enough. But fighting amongst ourselves is not it right now. That is not the main thing that we are up against. And this is a big thing that he talks about, is that by fighting amongst ourselves, by splitting ourselves up, that is making them more powerful because they are not the majority. And they are far right. They are far right conservatives. There are centrist conservatives, people who are a little bit more center. And from my perspective, that is too far right. But that does not mean that those people support Trump. They may be Republicans who maybe voted for him the first time, but now didn't vote for him the second time, or have chosen to like sit out the election, or maybe did vote for him this time and are now kind of regretting that decision. It's really hard to extend an olive branch sometimes, but we do need to have the numbers.
Like Abraham Lincoln said, a house divided itself can't stand, and we are the house, babe. We're the bricks and the boards. And also, like, if we're looking at this from like a religious standpoint, there is Catholicism, Christianity, baptism, and they all kind of have the same core, of what it is. And our core is empathy, is caring about the future of this country, is caring about trans rights, gay rights, immigrant rights, making our immigration easier, I guess, than like a 30-year process. We can disagree with like fiscally conservative people, but you can agree with us fundamentally that humans deserve to have rights. And if we can just unite under that and see that our rights are being stripped away, I mean, there's nothing to disagree on. There is only one thing to agree on, and it is that orange monstrosity is wreaking havoc in your house.
Just trying to keep everybody united, because they are not the majority, and it can feel like they're the majority, and it can especially feel like they are the majority online, which another thing that just like for everyone's sanity, there has been research done that about 50% of the internet is bots. People on the internet, the comments that you're getting. I am sure that we have read on this podcast comments from bots, and it is not always obvious who's a bot. Sometimes it's super obvious. You're like, you have literally 0 followers, no profile picture, and all you do is like spout racist nonsense. Probably a bot. It can seem like they are the majority. They are not the majority. They're very loud, and they have a lot of bots on their side. So I would say, when you're feeling that way, that's just something to keep in mind.
Oh my God, we should invent a bot website where instead of Nazi racist rhetoric, they go on and they put like loving,
just nice things, just nice compliments.
Because when you talk to these like actual people, they always backpedal when they realize you're not unreasonable. So maybe we just reverse psychology them into being better people.
We need nice bots.
We are looking for a programmer, someone who can code.
Nice bots, please.
I will tell you affirmations to send out every morning.
Another thing that you can do is choose not to obey in advance. Like, make that decision right now that you are not going to stand for fascism. And then I saw this on another journalist had a video, and he's from the UK, but he's like written a bunch of books about this. It's Paul Mason, talks about this as well, being proudly anti-fascist. So even if you maybe are not capable of going out to a protest, maybe you aren't comfortable being on the front lines, maybe you're not working in politics, but you can be proudly anti-fascist, and you can make a decision right now that you are not going to obey fascism. And basically what that means, or like what both of these people were saying, is like, even if you can't fight, even if you can't argue, making this decision for yourself. And when somebody says something that is, racist, let's say, you don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to get in a big argument with you, or I'm going to turn this into a whole thing. You can just say, oh, I actually don't agree with that. The other thing on top of that is a big thing that we can do to resist Trump is by sinking his approval rating. And the way that you're going to do that is by talking about it, talking about what he has done that is wrong. What has he done that has personally affected you? It doesn't matter. You do not need a big platform. You can be talking about it. You can be going to town halls. You can be making a video. It doesn't matter how many followers you have.
Protests.
You can be writing about it. You can be going to protests. You can just be talking to like people in your day-to-day life about it. You can wear a little button, but like I feel like any sort of activism is good in this moment. And I think that, again, to the point of the bots, it can feel like we are alone. It can feel like we are not the majority. It can feel like this is a loud group of people. And the more people who are openly just like, no, I don't agree with this and I don't like what is happening, that takes power away from them. And then the final thing that we will just leave you with is that if Trump's approval rating gets low enough, if it dips below 30%, his party will get rid of him. He is not going to stay in office. There will be enough reason to get rid of him. And so that is only going to happen by all of us banding together, by all of us agreeing that he is not good at his job, he is not fit for this job, and speaking about it, speaking out about it, doing whatever thing you are personally capable of doing, and not judging the people who aren't doing it exactly like you.
Yeah.
Like, we all need to be doing our part, and whatever that is for you, that is great. So these are the ways that you can try to resist fascism.
Block them. Honestly, the block button is
Yeah.
my best friend. They aren't real. Talk to people in real life, and I promise you are going to find that there are more of us uniting than there are of them.
Yes.
Know your talking points. Like, if you're a person who likes to talk to people, know what the dog whistles are that the other side talks about, like the trans rights issues that are just human rights. It's not a big deal. But this is what they want to get you guys distracted on. And then you spend all your time arguing until you're blue in the face that people deserve rights. That's what you don't need to be arguing, because these people don't agree with that. What you need to be talking to them about is the things that got them in the first place, the financial problems, the economic issues, the unemployment rates. You need to talk about everything that is going wrong. If they don't see the value in human life, that's not on you to teach them. They will learn one day. The only way that you can really connect and get these people is to be like, yeah, did you know this is happening? Because they don't. I was having a conversation like this with someone recently where I was like, yeah, it's really stressful. Like, people are getting kidnapped off the streets. They're like, where'd you see that? And I'm like, you haven't seen that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you haven't seen that? The rest of the world is rioting on behalf of America. So if you want to talk about anything, leave the human rights to the side, because you know where you stand and you know that that's common sense. These people aren't going to get it. Talk to them about the things that truly impact them and affect them, like their money. Okay, speaking of, we're going to move on to responding to one of our comments. And this was left by Jane Kelly, likely on our MAGA Reacts videos, where we just kind of talk about it was probably on a car rant video, if I'm being honest, where I talked about MAGA and how you guys are not the majority and we need to stop this rhetoric because it's just not true. Jane Kelly comments, as an Australian, I didn't realize I've been pronouncing MAGA wrong, in parentheses, MEGA. I didn't realize it sounded so much like maggots. And I love that, because that is truly how I'm equating so many MAGA supporters.
Yeah.
Just like brain rotted, so silly. You have nothing to eat other than the shit that you are seeking out.
Yeah.
Maggots. Thanks, Jane Kelly. Thanks, Australia. And tell a friend. They're MAGA. And then a review. Yes. This review is left on men's Make Billionaires Extinct t-shirt from user LTC. Not a real name, but they said good shirt for voting and everyday use. Shirt held up excellent for voting and everyday wear. Ample place for voting stickers, which I thought was a really cute detail, because you can slap it on and still see the whole decal. We love. The sleeves are nice. No restriction when I need to flip off a visiting billionaire or a bootlicking politician. You get full movement, full range. You guys get it. Need a backbone to wear this shirt, so probably not for most of Congress, but shirt covers nicely. And we're going to be crazy girls into asking each other a question. Oh, what habit do other people have that annoys you the most? Slow talkers, slow thinkers, slow walkers, slow eaters. I don't know if it's ADHD, but I'm like let's go. Like, what are we wasting time for? I can't stand lollygagging. Like, if I walk in and I'm like, okay, we have this many things to do today, I'm like, let's get everything done as soon as possible, as fast as possible, because then my brain can work normal again. Otherwise, it's all I can. Anyway, I hate slow people.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, slow walkers is definitely a thing. People with just like no spatial awareness, I'm like, what are you doing taking up the entire sidewalk with your group? I don't understand why we're doing that. People who are like weirdly aggressive when they drive, I'm like, calm the down. We are in traffic. People who, like, when you're driving and there's a person, this happens on the freeway a lot, and they're switching lanes, just every which lane, and it's like, you are making traffic worse. Calm down. Mm-hmm. Everybody has to slam on their brakes every time you cut a person off. Chill out.
Oh, people who like come to a dead stop when taking a turn.
Oh.
Don't do that. Maintain some speed.
What is your favorite thing on the internet?
Hope Corps.
Oh.
Military homecoming videos. My dad was in the Navy, so we had our own military homecoming, and that just makes me sob. Proposal videos. I love seeing when it's like real love, not when it's like, finally we've been together 5 years, ring by spring. Like, I can't do that. Gender reveals where I don't want a baby. I think it's really cute to see people happy. Videos, that Jacob Collier guy who can like conduct rooms full of people and they can just connect and they're singing together. always brings me to tears. Yeah, people where you see things where you see people peopling, like they're humans.
Yeah, and they're happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any animal video. I love seeing raccoons. I love pandas. Pandas are great videos. Pandas are very silly. I had a video on Instagram the other day that I saw, and it was just a panda doing somersaults down a hill. And I watched it over and over and over and over again. And I loved it. I loved every second of watching that video, and I'm going to watch it again after this. It was so good. I love an animal doing a silly little thing.
So we're going to end this episode, but I will say, if you want to unite all of us, you can start with the Delve decks. The Joy is one I would really recommend. You can get yours at boardwalk.com and take the plunge today and unite a nation. Why don't we? Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We love you so much. Okay, goodbye, y'all.